Hello everyone. I just had another delivery of some more stencils, layering stencils, and this one is from Trinity Stamps, and it's a 4-layer set, and it's got bare trees and falling leaves. And when you do it, it just kind of comes out like this. I've dropped some water on it there, so this is just a trial run, but you know, you get the idea. But instead of falling leaves, I thought I would try and combine it with this stencil I used the other day of snow. So do trees, and instead of autumn, we'll go for winter. I haven't got, I was looking at my distress inks, distress oxide should I say, and I haven't got, or Ranger don't seem to have, 3 greys that are in the same sort of palette. There's black and hickory smoke, there's lost shadow, but that's more of a yellowy sort of grey really, to my mind. So what I'm going to try and do with this stencil is use hickory smoke twice, once with a bigger brush and then with a smaller one to see, and using the bigger brush lightly, and then with a small one to see if I can get a more intense colour for a different level. And then I want to use this to add the snow. So it may not work, but if you don't try, you don't know, do you? These stencils are a little different in that they don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, whatever. It says down here, layered birch stencil, and this one says A. So I'm presuming that is number 1. Okay, then the number 2, it says layered stencil, birch stencil B. Okay. So you can see that goes in a different place. Then the next one, there's nothing on this side, but on this side, it says layered stencil C. So I'm presuming you have to keep it this way up, because looking, that one overlaps that a little bit. You can, by holding them up to the light, you can see where the trees are going to kind of come. So that's what I'm going to try and do anyway, keeping them with all the writing the right way up. So to start with, I'm going to start with the lightest colour in the distance. So for that, I'm going to use hickory smoke with the larger brush and try and just use it lightly. So I'm going to have a bit of scrap so I can give my brush a little rub first so that I don't get really intense colour on there. So I'm after a very pale grey. Let's just see. We'll see how we go. I haven't put any repositionable spray on this. I'm just trying to hold them still. Okay. The only problem about, I mean, I like the idea of using my scoreboard to keep the stencils in position. The only thing is it's kind of difficult to get right up to the corners with your brush, particularly if you've got a large brush. It's not going on incredibly evenly, but then I guess trees are not incredibly even, are they really? And these ones are supposed to be the furthest in the distance, one would assume. I think the width of the trunks gets a little bit wider as the levels increase. Let's just have a look, see how we're doing. Oh, it's interesting. It is interesting actually to see the different you know, the different intensity of colour, different parts of the tree. This is a bit up here that's kind of tricky to get at, and in the corner as well. Okay, They're all a bit uneven, but we'll see how we go. Okay. Oh, I quite like, actually. Look. That turned out well. Oh, my goodness. Right, now I'm going to use layer B, which is this one. And I'm going to use the same colour, but I've got some of these these are from Tonic Studios, small stencil brushes. Similar sort of feel to the bristles, but they're smaller. So I'm kind of after a deeper grey. Let's see, got quite a lot of ink on this one. Here we go. I'm certainly getting more ink on with this one, that's for sure. Be interesting, won't it? And if it's too far removed from the black, I may put a little bit of black over some of this in just kind of places, just darken this a bit. We'll see, we'll see. It's all a bit of fun, isn't it, really? These are lovely. I'm very fond of trees. So fun. Trees, leaves. I've got so many of my resources are related to trees and leaves and bits of nature. Lovely. Okie dokie. Here we go. We're getting that. Bit up in the corner there. I probably won't be using the whole of this background in a card, as I often like white spaces, as people who've known me for some time know. But I can cut this down, use a slice of it. I've got a lovely embossing folder of trees that I don't use all the trunks like this, and you can just play around, do what you like. Okay, let's have a look at this one now. Well, that's definitely a different colour, isn't it? A different shade, should I say. Same colour, obviously. But that, I'm pleased with that. Oh, I've had a moment. I've had a moment. Right, now the black. And I've got my black silk one here. And I should have C. Yes? Yes, C. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this then. Pushing it into the corner before I start. Okay. It's fun, isn't it? I really think it's a bit of fun. When I was little, I used to hate stencils. I used to often get them and they had bits of plastic, and they would have a circle, a square, a star, a heart, and all this kind of stuff. And all I could do with them was to kind of draw inside them with the pencil and perhaps put a little bit of colour on. So I was kind of predisposed not to like stencils, and it took me a while to get to into using them. And whoops, I don't know what happened there. When I went to a craft show not too long ago, I was looking for layering stencils like this. And, you know, I couldn't see any that I liked. They were just sort of flowers with various layers on, and I just wasn't keen at all. But since then, I've found a few that kind of appeal to me. I'll soon be seeing what this one's done. As I say, I'm not bothered about this bit at the side because I will be cutting it off. Right. And I think the unevenness of colour is good. Oh, look. Oh, I'm pleased. That is lovely. Isn't that nice? Now, I hope I don't spoil it by what I'm going to do next. Oh, what I intend doing next is putting this over. And I've dug out my homemade embossing paste. It's been in this pot for weeks and it's still absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is drag some over here. My snow. Let's just get ourselves in the corner. Oops. Oh my lord, what a mistake to make her. Okay, pick some of that up. Here we go. Got a bit of clearing up to do after this, haven't I? Oh my goodness. I have got the piece of card in my scoreboard here, merely to stop any of the ridges of the scoreboard transferring onto whatever image I am dealing with. Okay. Right. Let's take this off. Oh, that's quite nice. Now, what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to add some twinkle to it. So let me just put it on this piece of paper. Here's my glamour dust. I'll just put the lid on that for a moment. Let's put some glamour dust on this. I'll probably let it go back in there. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Now what I'm going to do is stop, clean up, I'll come back, and then when that's dried, I'll make it into a card. So I'll be back. Well, I'm back and my trees are dry, and I just chopped it up into 2 pieces. So out of this one background, I'm going to make 2 cards. So I've cut a couple of 5x7 card bases, and this one I intend to put that way on. And I just got this little fox die. It's by Frantic Stamper. We can't buy Frantic Stampers from America in this country, but I spotted this on a British site where dies to die for, and I just thought he was the cutest thing. And what's more, he was on sale, so he stacked a bunch of times and coloured with markers and stuff, but I think he's lovely. So I have a fancy for putting him on there. I thought I would make a little mount for this one, just to give it a little bit of the, give it a bit more edge. He'll be popped up onto some foam tape, the bottom part of him at least. And for this sentiment, I thought I would have, it's this one here, it's warm, it's called Warm Winter Wishes. And what I've done, I've cut it twice, and whilst it was still in the paper, I put some glue on it and stuck one on top of the other. Now I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, then I'm hoping I can pop it out and stick it on here. So we'll just see how we go. Keeping it anytime you want to colour or glue or anything, some die cut that's a bit intricate, it's often easy to leave it in the piece of card that you've cut it from until you've done whatever process you want to do, whether it's colouring, gluing or whatever. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, or whether, because there was a little delay, whether it's it will have stuck back to the card itself. Let's just see. No, I think we're all right. Seems like we're okay. Just hope there's enough glue on the back. There's so many ways of attaching intricate sentiments. You can do micro dots, which is brilliant for very, very intricate sentiments. But if your sheet has been used a few times, the chances are that, there might be a few places where there won't be a dot for every part of the... Let's just see if that goes there, and that will go kind of there. Okay. Let's just straighten that out a little bit. That's better. This sentiment is from Stamplorations, and there's a bit there that should have come out. There we go. Come out wherever you are. Get my tweezers. There we go. Warm winter wishes. And I've got the tittle for the eye right here. So let's just pop a little bit of glue on that. And stick that on. Okay. There's another bit there I just seen. Just put my glasses on my nose instead of on my head. There we go. Oh, come out. There we go. That's it. Stick that down. I'm going to have to put a bit more on that. Let's try again. Okay, let me just, don't you think that's pretty? I think that's absolutely ace. Just glue this together. I was pleased with the way this stenciling turned out. Actually, I was very pleased. So I'll put this straight on, otherwise the fox will be too high. I have to put some more glue on that, don't I? Right. Are we straight? Pretty much. Now, if he's going to go there, I will put some foam tape on the back of him. He has quite a few layers, actually, this one. I started off by putting some tape on the regular sticky tape on the back of the first layer, just to keep all the bits together, because obviously the white bit of the brush of the tail pops out, and let's put a couple of bits on here. And if you want to keep the pieces all together, and they are actually in different layers, I ought to probably do a whole video on how I made him, actually, because he has different levels. This bit is an extra layer to the tail bit, so the tail bit does actually look a little bit further away. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on his head so that if he does touch, he'll stick. And we'll take this off here. If you've glued somewhere and then you decide you didn't want glue there, you can always put a bit of powder of some description on, and it will stop it from sticking. So there we go, warm winter wishes. I think that's kind of cool. I chose this one because of the length and the space that I had. I went through my box of Christmas sentiments to see, you know, which one would do. There's still a little bit there, needs to drop more glue behind it. I should have taken a bit more care. Okay, now the piece I've cut off, I thought would look rather nice as an embellish, you know, a background. And I want the dark bit at the bottom like that on a card. And I cut out these Birch Press layered dies. I thought as I'd used a layered stencil, I'd use a layered die. And I cut out a black one of the bottom layer. Then I cut out a white one and coloured it with the hickory smoke, the same as I used there. And this is the top white layer, which I've left in the paper for the moment. So I'm going to glue this and then I'm going to put some twinkle on it. Then I'm going to glue the back, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out and put it onto here. So I'll stick this one down first, and I don't intend putting amount on this one. I'll just put it flat on the card. And I've cut out a sentiment as well. This is just kind of Noel. I thought the line of this would be quite good with that. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to completely go, but we'll give it a try. I'm sure somebody won't complain if they get this Christmas card and say, oh, she didn't put any background on that one. Oh, right, let's pop this in. I like to have, you know, a reasonable amount of space, 2 or the 3 sides or whatever from things I put on. If you look at this one, I've got about the same amount of space there as I have there. It's just a thing with me. I don't know why I do it, but there we go. Right, let's just put some glue on this. This is a Nouveau pen. Now, this may be a very silly thing to do, but we'll see. We'll see. Here's my twinkle. Same twinkle I used on that. Let's put a bit over here. A lot of it's going to stick where it isn't needed, but we won't worry about it. Okay. Lots of glitter, lots of twinkle. Now I'm just going to put some glue on the back while it's still in here, because these fine things are so difficult to get glue onto, as you saw with the sentiment over there. Right, now we'll try and take it out. Cutting it out the back. Okay, got lots of bits to poke through. I don't know if this was sensible or not, but it's worth having a try to see if it works. Let me hold it with tweezers instead. Get this to... Let's try this now. These dies are very expensive, which is why I've only got one. I may have said that already. It is pretty though, isn't it? Look at that. Right, I think we've got round. Last thing to do is put some glue on the back of this. Don't know what that was. Right, on we go. I think we'll have it with these on the edge of the line. Just press it down a moment. Now, I'm just not sure about this, whether I need to this is 2 layers. Not sure if that needs twinkling as well. Well, that's something that you're probably going to have to wait and see what happens. I will put the 2 finished cards on my Instagram account, on the community tab of my YouTube channel, and on Facebook, on my Facebook page at some point. So I hope you found it interesting anyway. I enjoyed this morning. I thought it was a good bit of fun. So, as ever, thank you for watching.